It's Not About the Bike by Lance Armstrong and Sally Jenkins is an exhilarating story that leads you through every stage in Lance Armstrong's life. It carries you through the beginning of his biking career as a young and strong boy, and it then takes you through the lowest time in his life, when he was diagnosed with cancer. Lance fought back, however, and he overcame it. He then started training for a comeback, and he trained every day, determined to show the world what he could do. Carried by his determination and hard work, Lance won the Tour de France. But he accomplished much more. He learned the true meaning of life and how to savor every moment of it.
Life is long, hopefully, but long is a relative term. A minute can seem like a month when you're pedaling uphill, which is why there are a few things that seem longer than the Tour de France. How long is it? Long as a highway guardrail, stretching into shimmering, flat-top oblivion. Long as fields of parched summer hay with no fences in sight. Long as the view of three nations from atop an icy, jagged peak in the Pyrenees. The one thing that the illness has convinced me of beyond all doubt, more than any experience that I've had as an athlete, is that we are much better than we know. We have unrealized capacities that sometimes only emerge in crisis. I passed the rest of the trip in a state of near reverence for those beautiful, peaceful, soulful mountains. The rides were demanding and quiet, and I rode with a pure love of the bike until Boone began to feel like the Holy Land to me, a place I had come on a pilgrimage. If I ever had any serious problems again, I know that I will go back to Boone and find an answer. I got my life back on those rides.
By reading this book, I learned what it means to ride in the Tour de France. It's not about the bike, it's a metaphor for life. Not only is it the longest race in the world, but it's also the most exalting and heartbreaking and potentially tragic. It poses every conceivable element to the rider, and more. Cold, heat, mountains and plains, ruts, flat tires, high winds, unspeakable bad luck, unthinkable beauty, and above all, a deep self-questioning. I learned that during our lives we're faced with so many different elements as well. We experience so many setbacks and fight such a hand-to-hand battle with failure, head down in the rain, just trying to stay upright, and to have a little hope. The Tour is not just a bike race, not at all really. It's a test. It tests you physically, mentally, and it even tests you morally. This book changed my life. So will it change yours?
Join the hundreds of thousands of Americans who have been inspired by Lance Armstrong and experience his story firsthand by reading It's Not About the Bike.